good, and maybe he's even good at getting the back exposure points in the top position.
Gales is around in a sit-out position. He tried to use that long arm to get a switch going, but Chuck Anderson counters effectively with the bar arm ride. Using the bar arm on the left side, ties up the far wrist. He'll walk around the head of Kurt Gales and try to turn him over and get back exposure points.
You can just see the intensity in the upper body of both athletes, how much strain they're really putting into it. If you look at the arm around the waist of Gales of Kinsley, you can see the type of muscle expression that's needed to hold an athlete down like Chuck Anderson is doing right now.
Well, Chuck Anderson, we thought for a moment would try to turn Kurt Gales, but it happens that he is using the bar arm for a ride at the moment. We have 1 minute and 19 seconds to go in the third period, and the match is still scoreless. Gales on a stand-up. He peels the arms loose, but he didn't get out of there. He had an escape going, had a chance to get away for one, and now a front headlock by Chuck Anderson. And Kurt Gales has won. We have an escape in the first point of the match with 1 minute to go in the third period.
Now we're going to see some good wrestling, some exciting moves, and I'm certain that we'll see a lot of them out of Chuck Anderson, who has a 1-point disadvantage in the match. He's going to do everything he can to get the takedown. He knows he has 45 seconds, and we're going to see 45 seconds of all-out 110% from both athletes here.
We're down to 40 seconds. And Chuck Anderson is trying to reach in and grab a leg, but Gales blocks out. He uses that extra length, and we talked about it, and Chuck Anderson tries the shuck move on the edge of the mat, but you'll notice that Kurt Gales, wrestling on the edge of the mat, is using that for protection. We're down to 23 seconds, third period, and Chuck Anderson trails.
A 1-0 match, and there's what you will see in championship matches so often. So now it'll be Kurt Gales who has the lead 1-0. He'll have to execute a move. And now Chuck Anderson working down to 8 seconds. You're watching it on the screen.
It's still 1-0. Kurt Gales has the lead, and he's blocking off, and Chuck Anderson could not execute his final move, and we have a new state champion at 112 pounds. Kurt Gales, a senior from Kinsley, Kansas.
Chuck Anderson has to take his first loss of 1988 in the championships of Kansas 3-2-1A Wrestling. Kurt Gales ends the season as state champion. There he is getting his hand raised. Kurt Gales of Kinsley, a Coyote champion.
Who was the contact?
Chuck Anderson of Osborne finishes the season 24 wins and 1 loss, and an outstanding season comes to an end for another great senior athlete, missing out by 1 point in the state championship.
And you'll notice that each one of these winners will come over to the bench and sign the bout sheet. That is required. They must sign the bout sheet when the match is over.
Kurt Gales, once again, the champion in the 112-pound championship match with a 1-0 decision over Chuck Anderson. We look at the award stand, and we see the 105-pound medals being handed out. In 4th place, Paul Rodriguez of Ellsworth. The 3rd place finisher in 1988, Pat Fernandez of Holcomb. 2nd place finisher in the 105-pound weight classification was Corey Burton of Hill City, and the champion is Brent Redfertig of Wellsville with a 4-3 decision.
What a moment for these young wrestlers. What a moment to stand on the victory stand. It's second only to the moment that they actually win the contest out here on the mat, Lonnie.